All right. If we are slapping, we better slap a number on this now. Who would slap it? Slap that baby.
This is episode number 232. Just as you said.
I thought it said 233.
No, it's 230. Wait, did you say 233?
Just skip ahead. 234. We'll have the missing episode somewhere. Anyone see the missing episode?
Damn it. It's right. Yeah, it is. This is episode number 230.
That shit better be left in there.
All right.
Anyway, welcome everybody, SlapperCast, and man, we just wrapping up a kind of a great little week. We got together. We retuned the PA, which kind of fucked up on us on Saturday night at Sue's birthday party. Apologies, Sue. We had a little bit of a gremlin running through the system, but Turbo took the subs home and just gave them some TLC, which is turbo licking culture, and he just took the speakers home and just, I mean, these things have been through the war. Kids, if you own a PA and you're dragging around separate subs and tops and power amps and everything, throw it all on a fire and burn it. Actually, don't burn it right now because we can't burn anything in Texas because the whole state's going to go up in flames right now. We're under, I've been in Texas since the early 90s, and this is the hottest run of days, weeks, months I've ever seen. So we're ending July as of tomorrow. It's Slapper Day, Tuesday, the August 2nd. Is that right? No.
August 1st.
Okay. Yeah. Nice and round. I like
Tuesday's
that.
August 1st.
So, just the string of triple digit days has been incredible, just amazing. I mean, it's just the lake outside the house is dried up. You know, all the birds are standing out there going, so what the fuck is going on? They're all pissed off.
Yeah.
And so I said, I just go, yeah.
They're refusing to sing.
So it's crazy. So so Friday was Black Magic Social Club, our first time there. Definitely not our last. Joe Omelchuk, John, the owner, everybody, great club. Sound system is fucking believable. Just Joe is such an artist. Joe is as big a reason for the band, playing, the way they do as a band. He is such an artist when it comes to sound.
Yeah, and talk about a Houston music veteran. I mean, he's been around on the scene since longer than I have, and that's stretching all the way back to the 1980s. But my old friend Harold Scott came out. I haven't seen him in years. He came out to see us play that night, and I'd forgotten that he and Joe know each other because Joe knows everybody in the music scene, especially going way back. And they were reminiscing about this band called The Rain, which I've talked about on the show before because my band The Change competed with him in a battle of the bands at Fitzgerald's in 1988. After before that, Harold played keyboards with The Rain. I'd totally forgotten about that. And it turns out Joe had actually auditioned to play bass in that band at some point before that too. So the history just goes back so far. But
for those that don't know as well, Joe recorded our first record, Standards, and I still don't think that anybody in town could have got the fiddle sound that Joe Omelchuk got at his studio, RBI Studios, Houston, Texas. He was able to just get exactly I believe it's the same mic. It's the mic that I just bought. It's the, I think it was. I think it really was the new tube mic. And incidentally, Luba Dvorak, thank you very much, Luba, the sound wizard over at Continental Club in Houston, Texas, 3700 Main. Luba is, we've talked about him. We've had him on the show. He's another Houston. He's a blow-in like myself, but he's he was the one that recommended that mic, and I sang 2 songs. Was it 2 songs? Yeah, I think it was just 2.
I think 2.
So we wrapped that up, and it was just it's the best purchase I've made in a long time. It's the that Rhodes tube vocal mic, incredible. It's used for acoustic guitars, but I think that's what Joe Omelchuk used on Turi Hoyseth's violin back when we recorded Standards, and the violin sound is just second to none. So back into present day, Joe Joe is now working at Black Magic Social Club, but he's a, like Chad said, Houston music veteran, but he also, he ran sound at Rudyard's. It's a Rudyard's British pub, which we found out in the same day, that Rudyard's do not do live music anymore, which is just a devastating news for punk bands and emo bands, all that stuff, because that's all it seemed to be up there. They just had just an endless stream of live music, great stuff, and we played there many times over the years, and just great room. Yeah. And Joe had it fine tuned to. I mean, that guy, he played the room like an instrument. There's no question about it. He knew exactly what he could get out of the system, and within 2 minutes of listening to the band, he knew how to orchestrate the highs, the lows, the mids, that you just, and put stuff where it's the guy is a master. So we love it, and and of course we'll have some pictures up there, but some great shots of the stage. They've got the big wall of skulls behind the stage, and the lighting's great. And Joe, the other thing that he does too is he sets the lights for the bands. That's
runs him during the show to just meticulously everything. You said it well. He was going around and he was just getting the lights just right to make sure they were positioned correctly. I said, look, this guy is just there's no stone unturned with every single aspect of what he does.
And he gave me a little back.
That's just how he is. Yeah.
When I was talking to him, because that was the first time I met him, and so I was kind of talking to him, and I was like, you can learn a lot from that guy. Like the way he explains everything, and he kind of goes over what he's doing. And I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, man, this guy should have his own YouTube channel. He probably could help so many people.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this guy's calling. Like he knows every, like they say, you got to be able to explain something. If you really understand it, you got to explain it simple. Right? If you really understand something, that's what he was like. Oh, we got to do this because of this.
Yeah. Well,
like, oh, man,
one thing I'll tell you about Joe is he's just a wizard. If you give him a reel to reel and you give him the equipment, that guy will make you. He can make you an old Pink Floyd record. I mean, he's that kind of a. And he also gave us one of the best compliments I think that you can get from somebody of that caliber. But we played a few Thin Lizzy songs that night, and he said, this band, he said, one more guitar, you guys could have yourself a real Thin Lizzy. He says he just hadn't heard a band put that much into a Thin Lizzy thing. So I was just, I mean, that's kind of, like telling Chad, not only does he look like Jeff Bezos, but now he has that money in his account. Go spend, It's just a thing. And then also, Friday night we got to, I got to reunite with Mark Fennedy and Berkeley Sisson of On the Dole, that we hadn't played together in 20 something, whatever it was, years. And, I just had a blast. I had an absolute ball. We played songs that I don't even know if I like, but I loved them that night. I just absolutely loved everything that we did. And Mark has a day job, but he also has a bar. It's a wonderful bar. It's just a local bar. And when I say local bar, we've talked about Eamon Finnerty and Mike Daly from Molly's Pubs. They own all the Molly's Pubs. Mark and his lovely wife, Kelly, have created a local bar. It's called R Bar, the letter R Bar. And it's on Houston Avenue, right by Washington Avenue, in downtown Houston, Texas. And they used to be over Memorial, but they moved. They have a following. They have their clique. But it's also when I say neighborhood bar, it's just that place where everybody's welcome. Mark and Kelly are just these warm, just inviting, just brilliant people, and tailor-made publicans. They're just it's in their blood, and they're just nice folk. But Mark, like he just stopped playing. He hasn't played in God knows how long. So Berkeley and I talked him into doing this thing, opening up as On the Dole for us for Blaggards. And that guy came. He just came fully loaded. He came with every chop. The guy's a natural, phenomenal drummer, great singer, as we got to hear as well. And Berkeley Sisson is, I've kept in touch with Berkeley. Berkeley and I will talk every month or every other month or whatever. But we keep in touch, and I've seen him and his family grow, for years. Again, some of my favorite people. Berkeley's kind of like a Joe Omelchuk in that he's he's great sound. He's great at running sound. He has his own stuff. He has a lot of his own gear. He's got every piece of gear known to man. But he's also one of these bass players too that lives to play bass. He's a great guitar player, and he can sing. He won't. There was a few songs that he was supposed to sing that he didn't do, but we'll let him off the hook because he came dressed all sexy. But he's one of these guys. He's just a phenomenal bass. All the people that play with him. There's a friend of ours, Hugh Meyer. He runs. He's one of the main guys out at the Texas Music Emporium out on 1960 and I-45. Great shop for everything. If you need any kind of gear or you need to go get your guitar set up, go see Robert. Amazing work. I never have to work on my guitars because he fixes them and then they never have to see him again. He's just phenomenal. So I digress. But Hugh Myers plays with Berkeley on a regular basis. And we go into the shop, just to see everybody and to hang out. It's a great place to, there's no high, it's kind of like Rock and Robyn is. There's no high pressure sales people, breathing down your throat. And there's not that wanker in the back playing Freebird or Stairway to Heaven, where you just want to guess, it's a great little music store and they know everybody that comes in. If they don't know you, but they'll treat you like they're like you're, a friend. They're great people. But so I go in there and I'm listening to them talk about Berkeley and I'm going, are we talking about the same guy? I mean, big beard, big guy, bass, and and they all, oh yeah. They all love playing with him. He's one of those guys. He will groove and he'll play for the song. And he's not like some big hairy guy with a fan that has to be in the front. That has to, I've said, no, cut that out. It's just a pleasure to play with him. And he's just a groove monster. He is the,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very solid in the pocket, a tasteful player. I would liken him. The first name that came to mind was Dusty Hill. But also the thing about Berkeley is he's just so affable. He's just such a great, cool dude to hang out with.
Always.
He's so positive all the time.
Quick with a joke, a light of your smoke.
Always some crazy story. Yeah. Hey man, did you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But when you talk to Berkeley, I said this on stage that night, but I stand by it. When you talk to Berkeley or when Berkeley talks to you, you think that there's a drug bust about to go down because hey man, remember, Mike McAloon's the same. If Mike is talking to you, you're probably in a conspiracy. Yeah. You're probably going to be, your phone's going to be bugged just by the timbre of his voice. Hey, do you know I like chocolate? I did not, it's
I remember where we were the first time you made that observation out loud. You remember where we were? It was when we were breaking down, either setting up or breaking down in a temple, at O'Brien's. Is that the name of that place? O'Brien's.
Wow.
Is that the name of the bar we used to play at in Temple? And Mike was behind his kit, and I think he was putting his mics away, and he had the bag, and he was putting in the bag and just kind of looking around like this. And you start laughing, like everything he does looks like he's committing a crime. And Mike just laughed.
Berkeley's he's like that tour manager that, it's like right when you're loading into the bus, he's like, hey guys, look, I just want to let you guys know. The passes are in the back. This is locker number 3. This is the code. That sounds like this guy's awesome. He's the tour. He's that guy that's like, I need to know that guy. He's around. It's about to be fun.
Yeah. Great people. Hey, I don't know. Can we put a marker here? Because I don't know if we can announce this, but I think now is as good a time as any for Turbo to make a big announcement, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to have a new logo on this on the posters, right?
Yeah, I think I've done an endorsement with SJC Drums, and I've reached out to them, and we've been working together for the last couple months, and I'm excited to bring this on. I know that they endorsed Mike in the past, and I wanted the when I talked to them, I told them SJC's part of the Blaggards or part of Blaggards story, and I want it to remain. And I'm going to retire the kits I use now and move to them. So they're building me 2 custom kits now. I think the first one should be here this week, and this will be the first tour kit, and then they're building the studio kit right now too. So I'm excited. So Matt over at SJC, I want to say thank you. He's the one I've been working with. A few other people there as well. So I'm very excited. So it's going to be great. And when the second kit's ready to go, we're going to fly out to the factory and we'll get to see him out there in the finished product being made and tour the facility, and it's going to be awesome.
And
so,
because Turbo likes you so much, and our Patreon pals will see it first, but because Turbo likes you all so much, he's going to film it and he's going to bring it back. So essentially, we're all going to take the tour, the Turbo tour, the terrible Turbo tour, if you will. And it's just been, it was just a delight to hear, because Mike McAloon, drummer number 732 in Blaggards, he 733, was it 730? Yeah, 733. He that's a SlapperCast joke, kids.
Yeah,
thank you. I know.
I got it.
Mike McAloon, he did his due diligence in, he was looking at kits. He had this beautiful silver sparkle. He had a silver sparkle and a green sparkle kit. I want to say they're Gretsch kits. Sounded great, looked great, but he wanted to have a Blaggard kit and something that kind of sounded like we did. And he researched that, and he went through a bunch of different places, and he did, not making the calls, just kind of figuring out what he wanted to play. And when he found the drums, I think SJC's biggest endorsee, I guess, is Trey Cool from Green Day. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's one of their big ones, and they also have 21 Pilots as well. So another big band. I think Green Day is probably their main one, right? I think one thing is I want to tell people out there listening, it's not something that's out of reach. They do a lot of things for a lot of people. They really go above and beyond. I mean, they're getting a kit set up for Ireland for us, and dude, there's a lot of things that are more than that. I talked to a few people already recently about it that have asked me, how did you get this and what do you got to do? And I'm like, man, just give them a call. And you'd be surprised what they'll do. And they're really a grassroots company. That's it. And
they're in it for the players. They're building kits, not right. Shit. They're building for the band. I mean, if you follow them on any of their social media, it's a daily. I mean, if you want, you can go as much or little as you want, obviously. But if you go and you sign up on their social media, you're going to find out pretty quickly that they're not just in love with their work, but they're in love with the artists that they promote, and they don't just send you a kit and just hope that you do good. If your band is moving in the right direction, you're doing the right, you're doing your homework. They will absolutely, they will either jump on for the ride or help you with, I mean, it's incredible what I go and I just sneak and peek at what they're doing every day, because they're shipping drums out all over the world, and their stuff they make and the quality of their product is just, I just can't wait to record. This is a few days ago now, we played at a place called TRILOGY BREW, in Old Town Spring in Texas. We played there, and we took a survey of, we played 3 songs back to back to back, and asked the crowd which ones they would like us to record. The clear winner was Streams of Whiskey by the Pogues, which somebody has been saying for 150 years that we should record it, and case closed, blah blah blah. That was the winner. But I just can't wait to hear what it would sound like on an SJC kit.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, it's it's really cool. I want to say is when I first talked to him on the phone, we're not talking, oh, I want this drum this size. I mean, we were talking about the story. We were talking about the vision of where it was, where it is now, where we want it to go. And, all these things are really getting to know what I was doing and what Blaggards are doing. And then they're like, hey, this is what we think. And then, right now I'm working with their designer team on the second custom kit, and I can't wait to show everybody. It's, I know I've already talked to you guys a little bit about what I'm doing, but this is going to be, something special, for me. I'm not only drumming for Blaggards, but I'm a huge fan, and I love what you guys done prior to when I joined, and that was something I wanted to put into this drum kit. So for me, it's got that. I've got a fan side and I've got a member side of this equation, and so I think that it's going to be, for lack of a better word, kick ass, dude. So I'm super pumped. I'm excited. I can't wait, and you know, and like I said, for anybody who wants to, if they got questions, they want to know, man, reach out to me and I'll walk you through it. And so it
really is.
attainable.
And this is top of the line shit. This isn't, this isn't the Sears and Roebuck catalog kit, that you get a free lollipop with it. This is world class. This is world class stuff. So anyway, going back, so we did the On the Dole and Blaggards at Black Magic Social Club. Very fun. Saturday we celebrated Sue's birthday at Ashford Pub. Again, another one of our favorites. We haven't been there in quite a while, but Ashford Pub, just their heartbeat is all connected to Sue. She just runs that place. And you talk about SJC, putting their heart and soul in. Sue puts everything into this bar, and it shows. And so she turned the big 5-0, and I mean, you can see the pictures. Their social media is going to be full of it, but their family went all out. Her mom and dad, Pam and Sam, they always go all out, but laid on the food. They put the big Star Wars banner in the back with balloons all over it. She's got curly hair. They all got curly hair, curly wigs, and floor to ceiling, wall to wall. They just went all out. It was just magical night. And Sue, happy birthday! And Jeff, her husband, thank you for bringing us in. That was a just wonderful night. And of course, we had Jeff Duncan with us as well. So and Jeff played and sang his ass off. We just love having him. So that was Saturday, and then Sunday we went out, got up real fucking early. Then we went to Trilogy BREW in Old Town Spring. Angela ran the whole fucking show on her own. Do you know that? She ran that whole place on her.
Yeah,
by herself.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Angela from Trilogy BREW in Old Town Spring. We've just been here. We've just played. I don't know if you can see it, but we're soaking. Also, so this is Angela. What are your hours here at Trilogy BREW?
Hi guys. So on Sundays 9 to 7, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays 9 to 5. Thursday, Friday, Saturdays 9 to midnight.
And Thursdays is the open mic?
Yeah, from 8 to midnight.
That is a must. I've heard great things about that. And how long have you owned this and operated and single-handedly?
All by myself, no. 6 years now, a little bit over, yeah.
Yeah, the coffee is out of this world. I wish you could have seen that last salted caramel she just made and brought out. I don't like anything in my coffee except evil, but I would have had that. That was amazing. And so you've been here the whole 6 years?
Yes.
Wow, it's truly stunning. So we have you're not gonna mean anything to you now, but our friends Royal Downpour are going to be performing here tonight, Sunday. But you've missed it by a week. Damn you! And are you from here? Are you from Spring? Are you from Houston? Or?
No, so I moved around a lot when I was younger, but we've been in the area now for 10 years. So Texan more than half my life. So I guess it's officially now.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you. This is a treasure.
Thank you.
This is a great.
Glad to have y'all. So when's the next one?
Yeah, let's do the next one. So we just played today. Today is July the 29th, and it's too late for you. So we do a weekly SlapperCast podcast, and this is episode number.
232, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 233.
Oh wow.
But anyway, so we do a weekly, but we're the next one we're gonna do it here. We're gonna do it before we set up, but so we're gonna hopefully if we didn't piss Angela off today, we're gonna do this again maybe on another Sunday. But it's a riot, and she has to be commended. We had a full house here today, correct?
Yes.
And nobody waited for drinks. Everybody was. I mean, hats off to you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate the energy and the vibe that y'all give and the customers. It was just fun. It wasn't overwhelming or stressful. So thank y'all. I appreciate it.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
So let's do it again.
For sure.
So we'll record the podcast. The next available SlapperCast we can. We'll just get you on. So just block you off for 15 minutes, and we'll learn more about Trilogy Coffee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Sweet.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Nice.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good
Cheers.
day.
All right.
Thanks for
that.
Yeah, and our friends from
Awesome
Arkansas
drums.
and Brenham and College Station and 2 minutes up and down the road, which we still. Counterbalance came in force. We were so glad to see them. And we had Miles Plays, and we had Moxie One. We had we just had the gang. We had a bunch of Ireland goers. We had Larry came in from. Where does Larry live? Larryland? Yeah, A-Leaf. I think it's A-Leaf. Larry
Hill.
Yeah. So it's just great, man. It's just such a it's so nice. It's difficult to change the words to an all-age show, but it's a joy to see those kids get into it.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Was it that Susan said to you? Our friend Susan Smith-Cates from Brenham was there with her daughters and their friends. What was it she said to you, Turbo?
We were when I was outside. She said, "Man, I just Blaggards are so special because it's a way that she bonds with her kids. It's something they have in common, right? They're teenagers, they become adults, they get older. You start to go like this." And she's like, "It's a common thing for her." So she was like, "Thank you," and I'm like, this just made my whole day.
That's cool to hear.
Like, man, that's pretty. I was outside. I was like, man, I didn't want the conversation to stop. Like, it was just, man, it was a special moment, and so that was cool, and it was a lot of fun, and they're just good people, they're just fun, and they sing, and I'm just like, man, let's just not stop, Trilogy, Sidebar Trilogy is starting to turn to one of my favorite places. It is.
You never know what
those type of venues are going to be, but I feel like a little home feeling in that place. I just walk in, I'm like, yep, I'm supposed to be here. It's a cool place.
No, we're totally building something there. We kind of, that was the idea from the get-go, but it's really obvious now that it's turning into something special.
Yeah. So speaking of all nice and fluffy, let's kill something. I want to kill a song. I want to shine light on the song. So I'm gonna start. Right. I'm gonna start with it's a song that I don't necessarily even dislike that much, but of their unbelievable work in such a short period of time. This is just one of the lesser songs, and so the song is called "Da Do 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 Da 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 Da" by The Police, and I'm just not pushed. I'm just not, it's still back in the day it was a great song, and it's got a great beat. It's just live, but it just kind of runs stale for me. So I just could kill. But and again, this doesn't need any light shone upon it, but Spirits in the Material World is you want to put a song on and drive 120 miles an hour. That's the fucking song. Oh my God. That's just even if it's not playing on the radio and it's just playing in your head. I mean, that song can still make you break the speed limit, call Berkeley and commit a crime, I'm just huge Police fan. And just, so I was just thinking, low hanging fruit, there it goes. So that's mine.
I would say that's one of the greatest album openers of all time. That song, it's the first track on Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah.
That drum fill that starts it off, it's just, it doesn't get any better than that. It makes me think of an interview I saw with Stuart Copeland recently where he was saying, I don't know if this is true for every single song, but he says generally, he said, you go back and listen to those albums, Ghost in the Machine and Zenyatta Mandata and all those ones, that most of the time, those songs that you're so familiar with, the arrangements that have dug into us over all these years, between Stuart and Andy themselves, they had only heard the song like maybe 20 minutes before you hear what they're playing on the record. Because they would, that would be their introduction. Like Sting would come in with the demo, or he'd just sit down and play the song to them and say, here's the song. What do you guys got? And they would come up with their parts and track it and move on to the next one. And it's just amazing. You listen to those songs, like, how could that even be possible? That they didn't sit there fine tuning everything.
I mean, and again, that's all credit to Stuart Copeland, which we've talked about many times on the show. But his knowledge, his music, his palette is so vast, and he's just got so much to pull from, because he's not just a music. He's just not just a fantastic musician, but he's a music fan. So he's that drum fill in Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic is still, when I was a kid, I remembered thinking how complex that drum fill is and how magnificent it is for that space to be filled with that drum Phil, I mean, to the intensity in that short amount of time is nothing short of breathtaking. It's still one of those, I mean, that drum beat, oh my God. And if you, as a musician, if you live your entire life, I mean, again, depending if that's what you're at, you're looking for, if that's what you're trying to attain, still, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a high percentage of musicians, if they play their whole life, will never come up with something like that. And to him, this is one of his. It wasn't a throwaway piece, but it definitely was a piece that is just it's just beyond human. When you hear it, it's just magnificent. So
Is that you talking about that snare roll that he does towards the end? At the very end?
Yeah, it's the biggest drum fill in the whole song. I mean, once you hear it, you'll know exactly what it is. But that's another great song. It's another song that you just go, how that? I mean, just brilliant. It sounds like it should be simple, but it's not. It's Police and it's Magic. So it's everything. Mm-hmm. So.
You were talking about his palette. It was like I read this article about the guy, the drummer of Tool, the Danny something. I can't remember his name. I remember I read this article about him one time, and he's like, I never want to be in a position where somebody plays a part and I don't already have something ready to go. Like he's like, I practice so many different things, so that way there's not something I can't put in there that I need to put in there. I was like, man, that's next level. Like, that's some hardcore discipline right there. He's like, it doesn't matter what genre, what this, I'm ready to go.
All right. Anyway, somebody kill something quick. It's getting too fluffy.
All right. This occurred to me today when we're at Trilogy. Well, let's say 2 days ago. We're setting up, and they have this playlist going. A lot of it were covers of like really laid back covers of popular songs. But one of the tracks that came up was just the original version of Africa by Toto, which I'm still a huge fan of. And I bought that record when it came out. I think it was Toto 4. But that made me think back when that album came out, and I'm not shining a light on that one, but that made me think of when that album came out, I used to get picked on because I liked Toto and because I didn't like Def Leppard, this is around the time that Pyromania came out. Yeah. So that album was huge. And I was like, you weren't, and the people with the assholes I was hanging out with, you weren't cool if you didn't like the Pyromania album. And I preferred Toto at the time, and I just never heard the end of it. So now I heard that song today. I was like, you know what? I was right. These motherfuckers are wrong. So I'm going to kill Too Late for Love, which is off that record, Pyromania by Def Leppard. It's one of the most turgid.
Is it worse than Pour Some Sugar on Me?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because I don't know the song, but I fucking hate Pyromania. I think it's just such a goofy. Anyway, go ahead.
But the song I'm going to shine a light on is a song by Robyn Hitchcock, and I was listening to this on the way to Trilogy, an album called Perspex Island, which came out in 1990, I think. And I hadn't thought about the album in a while, and it's just a really great record. And there's the first song is one I'm going to shine a light on. It's called Oceanside, which is just a really great pick me up, great song with some fantastic bass work on it by Andy Metcalf, who was Robyn's bass player for a very long time. Andy Metcalf and Nick Seymour from Crowded House, I think, are the two most underrated bass players in pop rock, or whatever you want to call it. It's really good stuff.
All right, I'm going to shine a light first, and then I'm going to kill a song. I'm going to do the same band here. So I got to tell the story first, but pre-set up. Chad and I carpool to rehearsal to the woodshed, and for the longest time, I could never play songs through my phone into my car. Like the USB doesn't work. For a year, I've had this car. I can't even remember how long I've had this car. I've had this car for so long, and it's never worked. Chad gets in, and I'm like, man, I wish I could play you this song. Because you try to play it through the phone, and it just sounds like crap, right? And so I wish I could play it through the stereo. I just plugged it in and it started working. And I'm like, oh, my God, it's worked ever since. I don't know what happened. I just know Chad showed up in the show. So I've just been like playing everything in my car, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And so I've been listening to this band a lot called Propagandhi. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them. I was telling you a little bit about Chad. They've been around, I think, since mid-'80s. They were kind of like the post-Dead Kennedys, almost like Dead Kennedys handed them the baton and they took over. They're from Canada, Winnipeg, and very melodic, very fast, you know, kind of like that melodic punk style, very technical. Man, I love this band, and I think they're awesome. So I've been listening to the album Supporting Cast. It came out in 2009, and I love the song Dear Coach Carter. And I just think it's just the harmonies are awesome. The drums are awesome. It's like the right tempo. I'm just like, this song is amazing. So I think if people are into that, you should check it out. I think it's super fast guitar, you know, super fast drums, but you know, kind of a little that thrash punk, but it's great. I love it. And then so that's the song, the band in the song. The song I'm gonna kill is the title song of that, Supporting Cast. I just think it's weird for me to say this, but I think the song's just too fast. It's like if they pulled it down a little bit, I think the song would be perfect, but it's just a little too fast. And I've always thought that, listening to that song. So for that sake, I'm going to kill it because I'm skipping it when I'm listening to that record. So, but if you want to check out Propagandhi, they got a ton of records. I just think they're awesome.
Yeah, you played me some of their stuff. I was impressed.
Yeah,
really
it was
unusual chord progressions and rhythmic patterns and stuff. It's not something you would expect to hear from that.
No, they're not. They change time signature. They change. Yeah. You know, they go in and out of different little things real fast, hard, sharp turns. You know, and
it's
so
catchy. You know, it's like not. It's not like difficult listening or anything like that. It's not like prog rock.
Yeah. Cool. Super cool. So you know, it'd be. I think they're still playing, and I haven't checked them out recently. I'd have to see what they're doing now, but. Man, just
good stuff.
Awesome band.
Good stuff. Well, we're definitely over time here on SlapperCast episode 233, I think. But I wanted to a while back. Emily Young had asked us about some questions about our Irish trip. Well, what's going to happen this week is we're going to start a WhatsApp group for the tour. Put everybody on it and we'll answer questions, and it'll be a way for us to communicate. When we get to Ireland, if the people in the groups go off and go shopping, they go to, would be a way to keep in touch if everybody wants to go on a pub crawl or do whatever, outside buses and whatnot. So that question we answered. As far as when the itinerary arrives, when everybody gets whatever they're getting, when it's emailed or whatever, the location in the airport where we all meet in Dublin is going to be, everything's going to be in print, so or in email, so we'll have the stuff there. We'll know all that, and then as far as the airport ride back to the hotel, the airport ride from the hotel to the airport on the last day, we'll all be going at the same time, depending on the people. I know that the Crawfords are going to stay on a couple of days. Other people are Merlin's going to go gallivanting. Just different people are going to go at different times. But the people that are going to be flying on that day, November 2nd, will get it. The coaches will take us all to the airport on that morning, and you'll probably everybody will probably be getting there a lot earlier than they, than their flights, depending on when their flights leave. Blah blah blah. So all this stuff will be in the WhatsApp group. But we're going to be sending that out this week. And we're just really excited about having. Merlin saw his post the other day, and he emailed back, and it's just great. It's just going to be great to catch up. Turbo's got some other friends from. Are they from? Oh yeah, they're from Phoenix. They're coming in, and so just it's going to be the trip of a life. As it always is, but this is going to be a trip of a lifetime. We're just so excited to have this one. So. Emily, thank you for the question, and sorry for the delay getting it posted again. But we're going to have all that stuff up and running. So, and then this weekend in Houston, you can catch us in nowhere because we are not doing nothing this weekend. Turbo's got some stuff to do, and we're going to put together our gear for. And the week after that, we're going to head up to a little place called Montana, and we're going to go see our friends in Little Rock, Arkansas. We're going to go see our friends in Heston, Kansas. We're going to see Omaha, Nebraska. And then we're going to see Montana. We're going to see Sam. While we're in Omaha, we're going to see about getting down to Lincoln and having a look around there musically and doing some rock and roll for the kids. So all that said, as usual, we're so grateful to everybody coming out and checking us out this weekend, and having a lot of fun. And just FYI too, the Black Magic Social Club on Navigation in Houston, Texas. It's definitely a club. It's definitely a rock and roll club. There's no question about it. It's not in the part of town it's in. It's kind of a rough part of town. It is definitely on the upswing as far as the neighborhood goes. Berkeley, thank you for the Mexican food. That was outstanding. There are some incredible restaurants down there. I would recommend El Jardín. Phenomenal food. So
let me just add too, really quick about Black Magic Social Club. John, the owner, told me that he built that place out as basically like a tribute to the old rock clubs that he used to hang out in Montrose area back in the late 80s, early 90s, which very much reminded me of. So if you are from that generation, or people who remember those clubs from back in those days, that's another good reason to go check this place out. There's no other place like it.
Yeah, do yourselves a favor. Just go check out the club. But don't leave anything in the car. Don't leave. I mean, just it really is. It's going to be a little while before they get that place. But bring friends. And just look out for each other. But it has to be seen to be. I mean, the bartender was incredible. Just everybody was so nice, but the sound in that place is phenomenal. So it's as a player, you're gonna love playing there, and the people that come to see you will not be disappointed. We're gonna see about getting back there and playing with some other bands, so we can I want to be a part of that, the growth of that club. So just a delight. So. Again, lots of stuff going on, and we're gonna next time we do this, we'll have Heidi with us. So look for episode number 234, and Patreon. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
All right.
Heck yeah.
All right.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.